now. Hello, everyone. This is our Thursday virtual chat. Here at the Summit Seekers Group, I am Karen Thomas from A Better Life is a Choice. We are a community that is taking ourselves to the next level, becoming leaders of ourselves so that we can be leaders of our teams, of our communities. We have a discussion here every Thursday on just business, family, whatever maybe comes up for anybody that they would like several opinions on. There is no one right way to do anything. So, as a community, we have a discussion on some of the ideas or maybe things going on in business that we would just like to chat about. So, if you have a question, please send it in to us. We'd love to talk about it. Or if you'd like to feature your own business here on our chat, just reach out to me and I'll schedule a time for you to be highlighted in our community. So, without further ado, I am going to let Vanessa introduce herself and then we will start our chat. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Kutasi. I live in Maine my whole life. An ambassador for Unique, which is skincare and makeup.
Awesome. 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 Well, I am so glad you're here. I had scheduled today a guest speaker. Her name was Jade McDard. And Jade's, we've had tried to have Jay on several times. And the last time her husband had to have emergency kidney surgery.
Oh my.
And, I'm like, okay, when I talked to her yesterday, we were good to go. And I'm not sure where she's at, but until she gets here, we will have a discussion. And it's a matter of we all are working our side gigs, main gigs. We all have things going on in our lives. What's some of the things that are going on with you, Miss Vanessa, that
Hmm.
um maybe challenges, or have you had any current wins? What's a win in your world today?
Whew. I think a win right now is just I'm waking up every day. Um, uh, well, I'll start with a challenge. So we have an English Mastiff. He's 2.5 years old. He's about 220 pounds, and he blew
Big
out one
dog.
of his ACLs.
Oh my goodness.
So on Tuesday, 2 days ago, he had reconstructive surgery on one of his hind legs, and so we're in recovery mode right now.
Mm.
Um, I honestly I would say the win in respect to that is no, it's not cheap, but yes, we are able to handle it cost wise. And so, between both of our 9 to 5 jobs, my little side gig, and just money we've squirreled away, we're not in a position where we're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? And having to keep our dog in pain. So I would say that's a a big win right now.
Absolutely. So if you didn't have the money, let's play devil's advocate here that you had to struggle or you didn't have the money. How do you handle making these kinds of decisions of what you will or won't do?
It's a great question. Um, we would just have to, so, he's 2.5 years old. If he were 10, maybe it would be a different conversation. Maybe it would be he's lived a great life. Let's let him go. But he's 2.5. He's got a whole lot of life to live. So there's that. Um, but we would probably find ways to make this work as quickly as possible because you don't want them in pain as long as they don't have to be. And you obviously don't want to continue to give like heavy pain meds over a long period of time because animals can become addicted, just like people can. So we would find a way to get the money, whether it's through my side business, taking out a loan, whatever it is. So for us, my animal's health is much better cared for than my own. And I
I,
have health
I
insurance.
relate.
I don't have pet insurance, which I should have had pet insurance. Now I'm kicking myself for not, but um, we would make it happen.
Well, and isn't that the way that leaders should be thinking? What are
Hmm.
the options? What kind of solutions and what kind of options should we be looking at? Now, you said
Right.
you didn't have to worry, you had money squirreled away, you had a way to handle this. And it's not optimal. We don't like to see, it go into having to fix something, but our fur babies are our babies. And
Hmm.
it's just as if we had to have surgery on ourselves or do something, you're going to do what you need to do. And
Right.
and I agree. More people take better care of their pets than they do for their own health. Now, I've been always been a big proponent of my annual checkups. I may
Hmm.
not eat well, but I keep my nutrition with supplements and stuff at the optimum because if you're as long as you're giving your body good things, even if I don't eat it all by the
Right.
food, I
Yeah.
know that my body will be okay. And I go get my annual physical every year so that I can know if
Hmm.
things are starting to maybe not be in the right direction. So far,
Right.
I turned 66 this year, and you know, every other annual physical, I'm not on any marker list for anything. So I'm not anticipating being on any, but the older you get, you have to pay attention to little signs. Because if you
Hmm.
catch things early, then it makes a whole different conversation for then, saying, "Oh, it's just this or it's just that." Um, you have a different conversation when you finally go to the doctor and he says, "Oh, you're stage 3 of this."
Right. Yeah. If you catch it soon enough, then you have a better chance of correcting it more quickly
Exactly.
and more easily, really, in the long run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it makes it, any kind of transition. I mean, this week you had your dog. My car, I have a Prius, which is a
Hmm.
hybrid.
Yep.
And I supplement my online income with doing Uber. I love talking to people. I love driving. I love being out and about. And my Prius had lights that came on, and unfortunately, the lights is going to cost me when I pick it up today $3,500.
Mm.
And it's like, okay, where do you get it? Well, I'm lucky enough that I have enough
Yep. Plastic, savings, care
plastic
credit,
that
whatever.
just I said, well, this is, I just have to work a few extra hours to try to work at paying it off. But it's
Yeah.
also trusting that what we're doing and how we are moving and through in life that it will show us a way. You
Hmm.
don't live in fear of, oh my God. You say, okay, this is the challenge that the universe, that life has me going through right this minute. How can I step up and be the best me going through it, right?
Yep. Exactly.
So that is what you've done with your fur baby, is you
Hmm.
you took the steps you needed to get him the treatment and the relief that he needed. And I took my car and I got several estimates. But I finally just said, I bet my regular mechanic won't work on it, so it went to the dealership and I'm probably having to pay through the nose for it. But
Yeah.
I know it's going to be done right and I don't have to put myself or anybody in jeopardy. And
Yeah.
I don't have no sites. I didn't I'm working on a new I'm in speaker training. I don't know if I know I've said it in different forums or different places, but
Hmm.
the the speaker training I'm in is just getting stuff done for they're having a summit on May 3rd that I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row for and making all the things for that. I never knew there was so much to becoming a speaker and getting the paperwork and the stuff out there for you to even send to people to say, would you think about having me as a speaker?
Right. Right.
It's huge, but the biggest thing that has been the biggest blessing in all of this is I deal with in our group and in my Facebook family, a lot of people who are representatives just like you.
Hmm.
Sensi, Pharmacy, Rodan and what is it? Rodan and Fields,
Right.
Tupperware, Avon. And the biggest thing that I know from having been a huge Avon representative is that you have to have your stuff on a different site. You
Hmm.
have the main company one, but you have to have everybody that you're has is in your customer base on the company. That's their customer. Unless you
Yeah.
make it yours in your own um, email list, in your own funnel type of thing. If that company dies tomorrow, they, we've seen Facebook go down for hours. We've seen
Hmm.
things happen. The FTC has stepped in and taken companies right out. Herbalife, what is Avocare? I mean,
Yeah.
if a company, if things can happen, I guess is what I'm really trying to say, is that we don't know what it could be, and it may never. But what if it does? What do you have your systems in place that you can switch companies, that you can be in touch with your people, no matter
Right.
where what you're on. So you have to have
Hmm.
a way to talk to your people outside of Facebook. You have to have a way to talk to your people outside of company emails or company marketing that is sent out through the sites, right? So is that something that you've done, that you've recognized and you've done for yourself?
I did. Sorry. My dog he just got up and got a drink, so I'm just making sure he's okay. Um, but yeah, so it's been a while, so I need to actually update it, but I have a spreadsheet that has like everybody's their contact information, so their email, their mailing address, um, phone number if it was provided within like an order or something like that. But um that way I have, information that I can use to contact them should anything go down. Um, but it's been a bit, so I need to actually update that because I've had some new customers come in, so I need to make sure that they're on there. It also helps me keep track of like if they have any product credit or anything like that that's expiring soon, so I can be like, hey, you've got X amount of dollars just sitting here.
Hmm.
I don't expect you to spend it if it now is not a good time, but just it expires on X, Y, and Z. Kind of give them that heads up. Some people don't even realize they have it. So,
Right. Now,
but it's also nice to.
have you ever considered, see, now when I ran and had my huge 2,500 customers, I used a texting service, I used a calling service that I paid outside of the companies for to send bulk stuff because I didn't always, the company itself brands everything for them.
Mhm.
You have to consider that you really are the brand. You
Right.
just happen to be providing unique. You're provide or I provided Avon, you're providing unique. But what it also, when not just have a spreadsheet, but you actually have it in a texting, like I used Mighty Text.
Hmm.
Um, when I go to use when I change over phones from my Android to an iPhone, at whatever point I do that, I can't use them anymore.
Mm.
So I'm looking into what other service that I can use that will connect and work through an iPhone or work through both. And
Right.
then moving it over or finding out who do I really just need to, fine tuning instead of sending out 1,500 text messages once a month, you know,
Yeah.
sending it, having more refined things. I haven't updated that. But for those out there in your businesses, this is a key point is keeping yourself top of mind. McDonald's has sold how many billions of hamburgers, right?
Mm.
Do we really need to see commercials about their hamburgers? We already know them. But the thing is what does that them keeping commercials do for them?
Keeps you in the forefront of people's minds.
It keeps
Because if
you it keeps them
commercials go
active in
away,
your
you
thing.
forget.
And the kids, they have it's a system that if the commercial comes across the thing, the kids, oh yeah, can we have a happy meal tonight? It makes them know and reminds them of what's out there. It's not about actually saying, "Oh, I want that right this minute." But it also
Right.
gives them the opportunity to talk about anything new. As representatives, we should, for our own health of our own businesses, because even though you do unique, there are other things that you use, or even for your team, that you should be considering being an affiliate for. One is if you take up a texting service, do they have an affiliate program? So
Mm,
that as you build your team, you can recommend this is what I use, this is how I use it, I'll help you set it up. Here's the link to get started with it. Now, not only are you making money from your team through your company, you
hmm.
now have them on services that you are using.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't realize that there were any texting services out there or communication services out there that might do an affiliate type program.
There is so much out there. Did you know that
Yeah,
Netflix used to be an affiliate program? When
I did
Netflix
not.
when Netflix first started, that's how they got people to subscribe. Was it was an affiliate. They had affiliates that would talk and promote it. Now, of course,
Smart.
anything can go away, but I'm all about multiple streams of income. So,
Hmm.
one of the things with this speaker training and this particular group that I'm with, and why I promote so much of their stuff, is because their major mission is to help people like you and me make money.
Hmm.
They have put together a software. It's coming out. Okay, that might be my car, but I'll call them back. Leave a message. Um, is that they've put together a software for representatives, coaches, and people selling products, because if you with you being unique, you
Hmm.
are also not just selling the products, but you are teaching people, right?
Yep. I
But
hope
if
so.
you but people might say, I have my own skincare. Like I buy my own from my own opportunity, and I'm really happy with their beauty products and stuff. But there's things that you might be able to teach me or share with me. But as you grow, you might want to build and have your own programs for teaching other things, right?
Right.
So they are
Yeah.
putting together software for landing pages, for websites, for a CRM, for keeping up with emailing these people, texting these people, coordinating your social media, all from one place, and being able to build a course not just for teaching for customers, but for teaching your team. What if you had, and where you could offer leadership building for other types of reps?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
what you do in your day job, it's not about staying right in one lane, but you are the brand. Doesn't
Right.
matter what company you're with. When you build stuff and you keep it on a separate platform, then you can promote other things to your same customers. Your customers buy all kinds of things,
Hmm.
all kinds of things. And, there's so many out there. It's just like there's a company now that I got involved with because it's about backing up all of my pictures on my phone. It's about backing up my computer. It's about backing up everything. And
Hmm.
with today's way internet things go and this and that, you have to be able to back it up. So as I promote or I talk to people and I say, do you have a service, or are you using a service, or this one might be cheaper, and it gives you the opportunity to affiliate the service. Whereas when I use Dropbox or any of these other services, there's no affiliate with that.
Right.
Streams of money cover a lot of different things.
Hmm.
And having the ideas of how to keep that and manage that. But anyway, I'm learning this software because um, I never wanted to build my own program for coaching
Right.
or for doing anything, because the amount of money for ClickFunnels, the amount of money for Kajabi or any other of these other platforms for hosting the program, because when you buy an online program, you go someplace and you sign in and you get their modules, right?
Right.
So that is what this software is going to give me all in one. It's the funnel, it's the platform to build my program, it's the landing pages that I can send people to a link,
Mm-hmm.
and it puts it all together. But I call this right here, my phone right here, this is all ET.
Mm-hmm.
ET, because at 66, I didn't grow up with any of this. It takes me hours, hours and
Yeah.
hours
Yeah.
to try to, learn and build and do something. Now, the more I do it, the faster I get.
Mm-hmm.
But this learning stuff is
Yeah.
it's a process, but you
Mm-hmm.
can't be afraid of it.
No.
And so many people are afraid of putting themselves out there. They feel like they're too stupid. Well, that's just your ego or whoever told you when you were going to school that you were dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta throw out that thinking. We are all
Yeah.
smart. Even
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. Look at Forrest Gump and all that he achieved because he just believed in keep on doing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
just keep putting
That's
yourself out there and you keep saying, okay, one little step at a time. It might take me 3 hours where somebody younger and that grew up with all of this can do in 20 minutes. But that's okay.
right. Yeah. I mean, that's how I learned a lot of what I do for my day job is just click. It's okay to click. If you're not sure, just don't save.
Don't save. And the thing is,
Back out.
there are people can help you recover anything.
Right.
You might have to pay them,
Right.
but my mama's biggest thing is I don't want to touch nothing. I might mess it up.
It can be fixed.
It can
It's
be.
okay.
It's all right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. When you live in fear, then it stops you from enjoying or expanding into things that you might thoroughly be great at. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I've got a good friend who, was very comfortable in her job for a long time but she wanted to change, but then she was just like so scared. Like, well, what if? And I'm like, what if you love it? How about that what if? Like, take the
Right.
chance. If you don't love it, come back if there's an opening still here or find something else. Like,
That's it.
it's okay to try new things.
Right.
It's okay. It's supposed to be scary. Just do it.
The what is the saying? I'm sometimes my short-term memory is just not there. There's a saying that says that the gist of it, if I could, because the words are just not coming to my head, is that if you don't risk anything, then you live a very boring life.
Right. Right.
If you're envious of any of the things that people, rich people, or or anybody that is out there having fun,
Hmm.
they were a beginner. At some point, they did not know how to do that.
Right.
At some point, they didn't know how to go bowling or they didn't know how to play putt putt or, we just finished the Masters. You know, maybe you're not a Tiger Woods or, somebody to play, but if you're out there at least playing,
Hmm.
but you have to learn somehow, sometime you've got to be a beginner.
Yeah. My
Everybody has.
10-year-old, so both my girls ski and they race competitively. My 10-year-old this past winter said, I want to be the next Michaela Shifter. And
Wow.
I was like, all right, let's do this. Like, that means you got to put your all into all your practices, put your all into all your races. Like, if that's what you want. I will do my best to help you make that happen. And so
Exactly.
she got it like written on her little whiteboard in her room. And I was just like, all right, we got goals. Let's go.
And to be that young and to be supportive, but see, today's age, there's so much, with the media and stuff, they see it, and there's more
Hmm.
and more women's sports and women. When I was growing up, there wasn't any of that,
Right.
and so I didn't have those avenues. But today's girl has so much, and I give you lots of kudos for saying go for it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can always change, or if you're shooting for the stars, you might land on the moon.
Right. Right.
Maybe you
Yep.
won't make it absolutely to the top 1, but if you fall in somewhere into the top 10, that's a win.
Yep. Just know that you tried your hardest the whole time, and that's all I ask.
Have
That's what
fun
you
with
want.
it.
You got to put your all in.
That's
But
it.
exactly, don't get caught up in the numbers and the this and the that. Like, if you're not having fun with it anymore, then it's time for a change.
A change. Exactly. So it makes a difference when you start, and that's with me in technology, doing this chat, showing up every week to try to cover, either challenges or encouragement, because we all are out here with the doubts and the people who look at us like, really? Why are you
Yeah, the
doing all that?
naysayers.
Or even you feel like it, you put hour and hour and hour into things and you don't have any money to show for it. So when do you either quit, or how do you change that? Or, finding the the median to try to say, okay, this hasn't been working. What can I change? Maybe if I talk to
Hmm.
Karen, or maybe if I talk to this person, we can come up with some ideas.
Hmm.
You have to change something. You can't keep doing the same thing day in and day out and expect a different result.
Correct.
So that is part of, you know, we do our day jobs, we do the things that pay the bills right now, and then we work on the side or work in our other hours what we really want to, would be our heart's desire. For me, speaking and having people understand that life tragedies happen. How do you
Hmm.
pick yourself up from that? I tell people my life has felt like a soap opera on As the World Turns.
You've got some pretty interesting stories, I must admit. I was like, whew.
Which stories are you talking? Which are you talking about? One of my posts?
Well, I think there's a couple that we've talked about here, but like your daughter, and all of that, having to step back from Avon. But didn't you, I think it was you where you had one time you were at the gas station and like somebody tried to rob you or steal your car or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Carjacked. I was carjacked. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, I
But
couldn't
it
imagine.
it, it goes back even to when I was 2 years old, and my mom and dad split up, and my mom didn't talk about it. My dad just didn't show up anymore. You know, what?
I mean, at 2, you're young, so I don't know how I would handle that. Like my dad left when I was 4,
Oh,
and I was like the saddest person in the world for a long time.
I was an angry
Like,
little girl for a long,
yeah.
and I want to say I grew up into an angry, a suppressed angry person, because my mom was Catholic, but she was excommunicated from the church when she divorced my
Mm,
dad, and so I didn't grow up in the church.
right,
But when you are brought up in a very strict religion, you don't just shed it.
right, right.
So, the things that went along with being raised were very strict in my house.
Hmm.
So, it was also one of those things that, children are to be seen and not heard. If you want something to cry about, I'll give you one.
I got that one a few times.
And so you learn to shut up and you learn to shove it all down.
Yep.
The problem with that is that it shows up in other ways. It comes out in other ways. And I
Hmm.
know that I had no good example of what marriage was supposed to look like, so I couldn't create one.
Right.
And even my husband's families didn't have good examples. You know what I'm saying? There are no good examples out there. So you have to try to reprogram yourself and
Hmm.
shed the things that bind your mind up or don't give you the empowerment you need to live the best life.
Right.
And some people don't look at that. And so my, being 66, I'm not wanting to coach hour after hour. I want to do it more on a group basis, but I want to be here to be the person that tells people challenges are going to happen. How can we be our best person going through that? And when my daughter was born, and even with the carjacking, there was a point you get over the hysterics,
Right.
the oh my God part of this, and you decide something within yourself how you want to handle this. I
Hmm.
decided that if my daughter had to be disabled or was, had this birth defect, that she was still going to be the best human with that birth defect. She was going to be all that she could be.
Yep.
So whatever therapies, whatever it took for her to do to the utmost of what worked, because
Right.
with spina bifida, it is not degenerative. It's just at whatever point in the spine things work or they don't work.
Right.
Learning to use herself in ways that, you know, she could dress herself. She learned all of the functions. She was mainstream. In other words,
Hmm.
she didn't go to a special needs class. She was mainstream because there was nothing wrong with her thinking.
Right.
So they made adaptive PE. They did, but my decision when she was an infant was that she will be normal,
Right.
except for what doesn't work. And we will find ways to make her be able to function as a normal human being.
Right.
And so that's what I did. But it was a decision.
Hmm.
And I lived with a lot of guilt for a lot of years because I was married for almost 5 years before I had her.
Hmm.
I had to work at getting pregnant. The doctors told my mom she'd never have kids. So I
Right.
know I was prayed into existence.
Yeah.
But I at least had periods every month. Mine were just there were longer periods. It wasn't the normals,
Hmm.
it was longer. So I
Yeah.
had a harder time getting pregnant. My daughter had a harder time getting pregnant,
Mm.
and she's trying for their second one, and it hadn't happened yet. And she said, I don't know if it will ever happen.
Right.
Just trust in the other powers to be.
Yep.
But I wanted to be pregnant so bad, and I blamed myself for my daughter's birth defect for a lot
Right.
of years because I wanted her so bad. I wanted a
Yeah.
baby. I wanted to be the mom for so long and I had um one miscarriage earlier before her. I
Hmm.
had a miscarriage in between my two children, and I had a miscarriage after them.
Mm. It's a lot.
So I've had more miscarriages than I've had live children.
Yeah.
So, the thing about it is that I had to finally forgive myself that it was
Hmm.
not my doing, that this was the adventure, because I don't use the word problems anymore. Everything's
Correct.
an adventure. This was the adventure that was supposed to be my life.
Right. This was the path you were supposed to be
This
on.
was the path I was supposed to take. And
Yeah.
so these are the things. When things come up, now I look at it and say, okay, how can I be my best person through this? Life is not supposed to be going through la la land. That's just not real. So, how do we pick ourselves up and how do we reframe stuff and how do we develop the and get rid of the anxiety of the unknown?
Right.
So, that's what I want to motivate people to delve into.
Right.
Because life
Yeah.
is not there's no certainty in life. Our sun could blow up tomorrow and this earth would be gone.
Yep.
We're not guaranteed tomorrow. None of us.
Nope.
We're not guaranteed the next hour. So
Nope. It's a true story.
you live in the moment of now. And this is even with my mom because, she at 92, the thing I found about old people, they get more insecure the older they get. My mom was a strong woman, but here is at
Mm.
92, she worries about stuff.
Yeah.
And her uncertainty in stuff makes her um fearful or not want to do anything um unless she knows for sure how it's going to
Right.
fall into place.
She needs a plan.
Not even a plan. She doesn't try anything hardly.
Yeah.
If it, you know what I'm saying, she is I mean her it's not her health so much, but walking and doing is getting more tedious.
Mm,
So, but you have to let it go and say, right this moment. I say, Mom, right this moment. You know, right this minute, everything's great, right? We don't have any problems right this minute, right? The house is paid for, the electric bill's paid, everything's paid. Right this minute, everything's peachy, right? Yeah.
hmm
I said, that's all that's important. I said,
Yep.
we don't need to worry about tomorrow. The money will be here. We'll be taken care of. We live in a friendly universe. It's not, it doesn't do any good to worry about. You know, how am I
Right.
going to pay this extra bill off of $3,500? I don't know. But life will find a way. Life will provide it. You know, this I'm going into speaking stuff. Things are going to bloom
hmm
as long as you keep thinking and knowing that you are cared and that life will work it out.
Yep.
That's the key. But if you sit there and worry about it, it's kind of like putting your order in at the restaurant and then following the little waitress back and watching the cook and saying, "Are you cooking it right?"
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You have to trust that life
You know, you
will
put
work
your
out the
order
way
in
it's
and you
supposed
say,
to.
"Okay, this it's going to come back." Not sure when it's coming back from the kitchen, but it's going to be here.
Right. In the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy some bread or popcorn or whatever they drop on the table.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what happened to Jade, you know, it's all I can do is try.
It's all good. We've had a great conversation.
You know, it's well, and I never worry about it anymore because I'm always reading stuff. I always have some avenue that I can drum up.
hmm
'Cause life is interesting and things are always happening, and whoever shows up, we will have a good conversation no matter what it is. And I appreciate you being here,
Yeah.
and I want to please make sure you send me your information so that when I put these up in YouTube, and even, I think I'll even in the comments when they get posted in the group, I'll start putting the list of links,
Okay.
for anybody that shows up so that if that there's a benefit for being here and being a part of the conversation. Because I appreciate each and every one of my people in my group. We all some people just want to see what we're about, and you know, it's a learning thing for all of us.
hmm
I have bigger dreams for how this group should grow, but I only can work at it as I can work at it.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I encourage other people to put into the group. We're here to help each other. If you want opinions on some of your posts or this or that, put it in the group. Let's elevate each other because we're all trying to create content. And I encourage everyone to not depend on their company for everything.
Mm.
You have to step out, and it's not about doing, I mean, the company has two tutorials. But the thing is that there's people who I see now doing, you know, lives with doing their own makeup and this and that. But it's also about crafting the why people should care about their skin or why it's important or what are some of the consequences that can happen if you don't have this vitamin, this vitamin, this vitamin to nourish your skin.
Right.
It's about talking about the things that you know that we as humans need that your company solves. But it's not talking about it in a way that says, "Buy this." It's that I am so, you know, I'm so glad, or this is what's important. I've learned this, you know, and being with this company and now becoming a skincare specialist. I had no idea that the layers of the skin did this or that, you know what I'm saying?
hmm Yep.
And there, you know, it's like being an Amazon. I do reviews for Amazon. And as I buy stuff, I did a review on this mic set that I bought. And I've made almost $100 just in people who watched my video on it
Oh wow.
and have bought it off of Amazon.
Nice.
You can do the same thing. This is where making multiple streams of income. as you talk about stuff, you use other things than what your own company provides.
Hmm.
So if you have a favorite brand of something else, see if you can be an affiliate for it. If you use, like Canva, you can be I think you can still be an affiliate somewhat for Canva, but it's in helping and providing other services for your team, for your customers that they can maybe hook into that will also provide you some incomes.
Mm, it's a good idea.
Because we are all trying to protect ourselves the best that we can in our identities, in our computers, and so many things. And you can be a voice for that along with your company on another platform that you can keep customers coming in
Right.
by building your own email list outside of your company.
Right.
And that way that you can talk to them more than just about unique. You can talk to them. They can know about your dog and the importance of now vet insurance.
Right. Yep. Missed the boat on
Isn't
that
that,
one.
there's programs that you can be a part of that will pay you to promote,
Yeah.
and you just find those. You
Yeah. I
become a
think
part of it.
AKC actually has one that you can promote some AKC stuff. I mean, he's an AKC dog.
You have to look into other avenues because multiple streams is multiple streams, and you're building a client base and a customer base, not just for unique. They
Right.
are a part of this because you introduced them to you. You were the brand. So
Right.
anything you use, anything that you enjoy that you can promote and make a few dollars in, it all goes into the pot.
Hmm.
And if any one of them goes away, you still have the others. And then
Right.
you still have your core of people that you have built and that trust you because you never know where life is going. I don't know what other kind of things I might get into, but this platform is also going to have an affiliate part. They're putting it together. I'm in the
Yeah.
pre-launch because of they're launching my landing page and my funnel for my free gift for my speaking. And so when this goes down in a couple weeks and I'm building my end of it, we're in the pre parts of this software, but as I get good at using it through this pre-launch of my speaking stuff, I'll be able to help anybody else that wants, and it is so reasonable. I'm going to be able to get rid of three services that I'm now paying almost $100 each for.
Right. Right. Having it all in one place will be nice because, like you said, then you're not like, who am I paying for what part of it? It's
Right.
all in one package.
Right. And I didn't even want to go into the other parts of it because the thought of being part of ClickFunnels, even though they are the number one platform for building a funnel, it's just it's hard to get used to. It's just hard to,
Yeah.
their base thing is $200 a month
Mm,
just for the ClickFunnel. And then you have to build your program on something like Kajabi, which is another 50, 60, $100 a month. I just
yeah.
didn't want to go there. I pay enough with other things. I said, well, when I build up enough people, maybe I'll be able to go in that direction. But right now,
Right.
I'll promote other people's programs and other people's things that already have them built on platforms
Yeah.
because I believe in learning. The education is mandatory for anything you want to go if we're doing anything in life. We don't
Right.
just come into this world to sit down and have one career and one thing. I'm just big into always trying to up my communication, up my understanding of how my brain works, how my body works, how any of it works.
Yeah.
And it helps keep us young by always being learning and expanding.
Hmm.
Any last comments or questions or anything you want to put out there for our community?
No, this has been a great conversation. I wish I could make them more frequently than I have been able to lately, but every
Well,
time I show up, they're They're exactly what I've needed to hear.
Well, I am so, so glad. The 1 o'clock is, I was hoping it would help more people attend. I'm not sure. We might have to move it to noon if that helps. Vidra hasn't been able to come since I moved it, and I sent
Mm,
her a message saying, is it just these particular weeks, or is the 1 o'clock a problem permanently? She was a
yeah.
major contributor in our discussions, and
Hmm.
so if it's going to be a problem, it's just finding a right time that
Yep,
helps and serves more people. So I appreciate you being here. I thank you so much. And thank you guys. If you have any questions for us, please, of course, do hashtag replay if you see this on the replay. And we'd love to know if you had an aha moment. And I'd love to help you. Vanessa would love to help you if you have some skincare
for sure.
questions or would like to know more about what Unique provides. We are here as friends, family, and sisters. All right. See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye.
Bye. Hi, my name is Karen Thomas. But guess what? That is not important. What's important is your success online. I can help you start a successful, thriving business online, no matter how many times you have failed. If you have a desire to win, you can. All you need is Wi-Fi, a laptop or desktop, and be able to follow simple directions. Reach out to me and I can show you exactly how.